Hello and welcome. Today we're going to spend some time with the Sacred Traveler Oracle. I'm going to share what you might get if you have a reading with this deck and the message or personality that might come across. And in the end, I'll share a little bit of my personal relationship with this deck from my interview reading with it. So first thing I have to say is, as a Sagittarius, I love the concept of a Sacred Traveler. This is a deck that can help you see yourself as a protagonist in a fantasy movie or things like that. It's a little bit magical, fairy tale-ish, but it applies to all our journeys. Okay, so one of the first thing, the obvious thing is this deck shows whatever your question is in terms of where you are in your journey, and or even a section of your journey, because I feel like looking through the lens of this deck, that's the journey, or the life journey, is a very strong perspective. And with 52 cards, different elements, different places, people, allies you come across, events, or if you think of it in terms of games, it could be events or buffs or character attributes. All those kind of things can come into describing your situation and helping you to think where you are in your journey right now. The deck is also very intentional and what it includes in each card's visual. For example, I really love this cute owl, this owl guide in this card. And with the meaning of owl, you would think that it's kind of flying throughout the deck everywhere, but not really. There's only a very small handful of cards where you'll see this owl. And so what I want to point out is this deck, in broad strokes is journey, but in details you can kind of see maybe there are signs, objects, animals, or location and structure. There's also only a handful of cards with castle, for example. You can interpret that as the safety of your home, or maybe that's a final destination of your dream location of where you want to be. Things like that. This deck, I think, also would speak to everyone, because this depicts different types of journeyers in different lands, different type of stories, so that I feel like it can be very broad and anyone can try to find where they relate in terms of the journey or the traveler. Another way this deck will speak to you is it's a relentless cheerleader. Either whatever place you're in, but especially if you are getting down on yourself, you have a lot of negative self-talk, this is the deck that's gonna turn you away from all that. If you need some negativity, this is not the deck for it. You'll get messages of finding shelter or slowing down and taking a rest, but it leaves very little room for negative self-talk. It is your magical, warm cheerleader wherever you are, okay? It's not overly positive, it's gentle and warm, and it's gonna show you the harder sides, the dark sides, and the doubts of your journey. But going back to the theme of journey, it's ongoing. It's never going to end. So put in that perspective, that explains for why this deck can be so positive, because the only way you can go is forward. Even if physically you're backtracking, in terms of your life journey, you're still going forward, you're still adding new experience. And so that is why I feel like nothing is wasted and everything is just you progressing through the lens of this deck, wherever you are in your life. Okay, so I'm going to show a little bit of my interview. Usually I do 6 cards interview, and so I'm going to share 2 cards that I got. First is when I asked the deck to introduce itself, Journeying the Moonlight. And it was very, very adorable, very cute, because even within the storybook art style of this deck, there's not a lot of mythological or fantasy creatures. And so this deck is telling me with this card that this is where I can bring back some magic and enchantment whenever I am just feeling down with life, or when me or my clients need that little bit of magic and a different perspective by looking at the world with a perspective of magic, intuition, and seeing it kind of through the other world. Fairies. The other message, which is what the message this deck wants to bring through in readings, is, let's see, that was not the card. It's infinite abundance. The message it wants to bring to us, whoever is getting readings from this deck, is our connectedness and the sense of community. There's enough for everyone. This shows a time of harvesting, and also the flowing of our energy, our material goods. This is focusing on, if we feel stagnant, the way to break that stagnancy is to start giving. Once you start giving, it creates room for other things to come in. So that will be the undertone of the readings you get from here. Is it's going to show you where you can move forward for things to start flowing, and it's going to remind you there's enough for all of us. Okay, so just in summary, this is a great card if you need a little bit of comfort. So these visuals, the kind of hero's journey perspective will help you look at your situation, if it's a difficult situation, as if it's a movie or a dear protagonist and you're living through that story. It's going to help you connect dots. It's going to help you live your life as though it's an ongoing, flowing story. Usually it's not like that, but this is how this deck is going to be a cheerleader and help us see the flowing of our journey. And did I cover everything I love about this deck? You can see there's gonna be places, there's gonna be different type of travelers, and it's gonna show you obstacles and different mindsets of living through your story. So I hope that helps you see the magic and the supportiveness of this deck, and you'll love it if you get a reading from it. And I'll see you in another video.